Even though they only made a couple of moves at the trade deadline this year, in my opinion, the Denver Nuggets are still one of the teams to beat in the Western Conference and in the entire NBA for that matter. With the most high-powered offense in all of basketball, this team is really tough to stop. I mean, it all starts with the reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic. You got Jamal Murray coming back from injury. Michael Porter Jr. is pulling any and everything that he touches. This team is really fun to watch, and they have the perfect supporting cast as well. Aaron Gordon, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Bruce Brown have been really solid for them all year long, and they made a couple of moves at the trade deadline, bringing in Thomas Bryant, and at the contract buyout deadline, bringing in Reggie Jackson. So we're going to talk all about this team. Make sure you hit the like button and leave me a comment down below. I'm going to tell you why I think they're still my favorites to win the NBA championship. So make sure you stick around for the full video, like I said. Now let's go ahead and get started looking at how they are unguardable. Number 1 in field goal percentage and number 1 in three-point percentage. Now usually that leads to success. Number 2 in assists, number 6 in points per game, or in points total, 6th in points per game as well, number 1 in offensive rating, and 20th in pace of play. This team right now is at a different level on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, seriously, just look at this lineup and tell me how in the world you plan on stopping it. They're just too high-powered. I mean, Jamal Murray averages close to 20 a game. We're going to talk about all the averages later, but coming back from that ACL tear, he's looking better and better every game. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, the perfect two-guard for this team. Aaron Gordon plays his role to perfection. And then all the TikToks here lately have been catching on to Michael Porter Jr. Anytime he touches the ball, that thing's going up, and usually it's going in. And then they've also got, by the way, the two-time, probably three-time MVP here before long, Nikola Jokic at the center spot. This team might go down as one of the greatest offenses of all time. Oh, by the way, they also have Reggie Jackson now off the bench, who could be a nice backup point guard that can control the game. And then they also have Bruce Brown, one of the best glue guys in the NBA. Now, could the Joker get his 3rd MVP in a row? Big question. I think so. He's averaging 25 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 10 assists, accounting for at least 45 points a game, depending on if those assists are 3-point baskets or 2-point baskets, and then also shooting at 63% from the field, 39% from 3, and also averaging 1.2 steals per game. He's on a tear so far this year. He's playing 33 minutes per game, and he's still only 27 years old. That is wild. He's already, he's on pace to win his 3rd MVP. He hadn't even turned 28 yet. The only way he doesn't win it, I think, would be voter fatigue. Because obviously 2 times in a row, we've seen that with like Jordan and Kobe before, where they don't get it because they've won it just too many times. But I don't know. I feel like this case could be a little bit different. Now let's take a look at the deadline deals, where they bring in Reggie Jackson through the contract buyout, and then they also trade for Thomas Bryant, who is having a very nice season, almost 13 points a game and 7 rebounds, as well as almost a block per game for the LA Lakers. 65% from the field, 44% from 3, and he was shooting about 1.2 attempts per game, so that is good, and he's only playing about 21 minutes a night. So very efficient in his very limited minutes. Reggie Jackson averaging 11 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.2 assists. Another guy that, like I said, he can come in, control the game. He will replace Bones Highland, who they sent off for 2 second-round picks to the Clippers. And then 42% from the field, 35% from 3, and 26 minutes per game. So a couple of good additions there to the bench. Now, let's take a look at the glue guys, their important role players, starting with Bruce Brown, who you could argue is the most important role player because the other two are really just co-stars. 11.2 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, and a few assists as well. He has been all that you could ask for in free agent signing from the Nets. 49% from the field, 40% from 3, 1 steal. You look at the stats and you just kind of blown away. And then you watch him play and see how much better he is than just the stat sheet. And then the co-stars, like I said, Jamal Murray averaging about 20 points a game, 5.4 assists and a few rebounds as well, getting better every game since coming back from that ACL tear. 46% from the field, 40% from 3, 30 minutes. People forget how good Bubble Murray was, especially in that run to the NBA, or to the Western Conference Finals, excuse me. And then Michael Porter Jr., a guy that I've highlighted a couple times in this video so far, 16 points per game, 6 rebounds, 1.2 assists per night. He's just an absolute flamethrower. If you look up the definition of a flamethrower, Michael Porter Jr.'s picture is right there. 47% from the field and 41% from three. Only difficulty of shots that he takes is wild. Now the 3-and-D guys, other than Bruce Brown, of course, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, old Jeff Green, and Aaron Gordon. We'll start with the old grandpa, Uncle Jeff Green, who's averaging 7.5 points per game this year, 2.8 rebounds, 1.5 assists per night. Now, at this point in his career, Jeff Green's played for about every team in the league, but still an impressive season from him at that age. He's still shooting 53% from the field, 27% from three, not great in about 20 minutes per game, though, so still, a good veteran addition for this team. And then Aaron Gordon, a guy that you can't say enough about, averaging 16.5 points per game, 7 rebounds, 2.3 assists, playing phenomenal defense. People are even making the argument that he is in the big three instead of Michael Porter Jr. That's kind of wild to me, but man, 59% from the field, 39% from three, 30 minutes per game. Dude he's been phenomenal for this Nuggets team. One of the keys to their success this year. Now, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, I loved this addition in the offseason. 11.6 points per game, 3.1 rebounds, 2.3 assists per game. The perfect two-guard for a Nikola Jokic-led team because he can really knock down the three ball and he can guard on the perimeter. 48% from the field, 48% from three in 30 minutes per game. Now, there is still some youth on the team. Christian Braun, Zeke Naji, both starting to get some minutes now with a couple of older guys and Bones Highland out of the lineup. We'll see how their minutes adjust once Thomas Bryant and Reggie Jackson get their full burn. But they got both of those two guys who are still 22 and 21 respectively, I believe. And then you got Ismail Kamagate and Peyton Watson, both rookies. Kamagate on, a draft and stash type thing. So both of those guys maybe in the future could potentially give you some value. Peyton Watson was a first-round pick, of course. But yeah, now let's take a look at the outlook for the Nuggets. They got the number 1 seed all but wrapped up here going down the stretch with about 20 or so games left, and they have opened up a 6-game lead over the Memphis Grizzlies, who are in second right now. And then you got the Sacramento Kings, the LA Clippers, and the Phoenix Suns, Dallas Mavericks, New Orleans Pelicans, Minnesota Timberwolves. They're all bunched up. There is such a small gap from the 3 seed to like the 13 seed. It's incredible. But looking at their games after the deadline, you got Cleveland, who is on a nice little win streak here, coming out of the All-Star break. Then you got to go to Memphis. So that's going to be 2 really tough games to open up the deadline. If they win both of those games, man, that'd be nice. Play the Clippers at home. That'll be a tough one. Then you got a little off day versus Houston. Play Memphis at home, Toronto, Chicago. So it gets a little bit easier after those first 3 games. But man, you're playing a couple of really, really good teams in those first 2 games. And then the Clippers are very good as well. But I think this Nuggets team is arguably the best in the NBA behind Nikola Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, the big 3 there. Aaron Gordon, you could say it's a big 4. Bruce Brown is huge for them off the bench. And you also got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. This is just a loaded squad right here for the Nuggets. So with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the button and leave me a comment down below, as it really helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.